Well, I'm getting better at those landings, huh? Hey everybody, today is June 24th, 2012, and as you can see I made a new secret trail to the Slee Stack garden, and here it is over here, and you can see it's a grand thing. Everything is doing very well, but first I'm going to show you my tomato plants. Well, let me show you the tomatoes first. They're all very healthy, very thick stems, and no weeds in between. I just weeded it. And let me show you the pride and joy of this garden, which is the Hoy tomato. Well, if you remember last year I grew Big Zack tomatoes, and they didn't have much of a shelf life. They go rotten pretty fast. And so I was looking for an heirloom instead of a hybrid that would do pretty much the same thing except last a lot longer. And these are called Hoy, and boy are they big. They're nice and meaty. You can see the stalk there. I have a few of them here, 9 plants in all, and they get 2 to 3 pound tomatoes, probably more if I do a good job. But they were developed by Hoy Taylor in Rowan County, West Virginia. Hoy Taylor is long gone, but his seeds live on. So these are my best bets for the largest tomato this year. One thing about the Hoy is that you can tell it's going to be a huge tomato by the bloom. These compare to the Big Zacks I grew last year and might be a little bit bigger. But you know by the size of the bloom that it's going to be a big tomato. Well, these plants here are Rutgers, and they have the first tomatoes of my garden this year up here in Wisconsin. And we'll see how these guys go. Well, the second tomato to appear this year are the Tommy Toes, and you can see a strand right here. So they're in second place, but these don't get much bigger than an inch or two. Well, okay, it's time for my Shoreline garden experiment update. You can see right here the sand is really dry and there's no moisture in it at all. But over here by the shore, it's always wet. You can see the darker color. And here are the Rutgers. They're still green, they didn't die. And I think that's a Burpee Best Boy and some Burpee 100s. They about doubled in size in the last 2 weeks, and they're super green. And then looks like here one didn't really grow at all. But over here are Bloody Butchers, and those have more than doubled in size. And down here are the volunteer tomato plants that I took from the garden. And what's odd is they're still alive. They're not looking too healthy, but they're having flowers already. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens with these and what kind of tomatoes these are. I've been talking about wild strawberries for a couple years now, and I wanted to show you a few ripe ones here. You can see there. As you can see, they don't get too big, but there's lots of them. We have hundreds of plants around here, and they're very tasty. Well, besides the tomatoes, I have my cucumbers, which have turned up nice and green and full, and the deer haven't gotten them this year, and I don't think they will. I think they're beyond that point. And then we have bell peppers, row of those, and at the end are jalapeno peppers. And the deer did nip a couple of these bigger bell peppers, but nothing to be worried about. And then we have 2 rows of green beans. You remember the deer ate most of them last time, and it seems they left them alone for now. And the other ones have come up that I replaced them with. And then our 3 rows of potatoes. And I accidentally dug up a potato today while hilling these, and they're about the size of an egg right now. But they're very healthy, and I've never had them this big before, so pretty proud of that. Over here I have squash. These are butternut squash. And over here we have Amish squash, acorn squash. And then let me take you over here. We have watermelons, which I still need to thin out because there's way too many in there. I didn't expect all that germination to happen. And then the pumpkins, look at those pumpkins. Just ready to burst with the biggest pumpkin in the world. Anyway, that's all for this weekend. Take care, everybody. Oh boy, these guys aren't good. These guys aren't a lot of fun. Mean as mean can be.